Hello and welcome. As you probably guessed, I'm MotherAzure, but also Maria. I am back again with another pick card. Finally, I can speak. I got my voice back. I'm so sorry for not posting for 2 weeks. I got so sick. If you didn't see my updates, I had strep throat for like a week, and then I got another respiratory virus, and it was so bad. I couldn't speak at all. And I would be coughing constantly, so I could not record anything at all. It was impossible. But finally, I'm back. I'm all healed up. I still cough sometimes, so I may cut through the video so you don't have to hear me cough, but hopefully that doesn't happen. So what we're going to be looking at here is, well, initially I had just do more broad, what the spirit want you to know, what do you need to know right now. However, when I started with that topic in mind, I was corrected by my spirit team, and they want me to be more specific. So there is a message for you from someone from the other side. So we're talking about someone who has passed on. It could also be your spirit team. It could be any other spirit, but most likely it's going to be focused on loved ones that have passed on. So if you have someone that you think may be trying to give you a message, or you just have someone that you know passed away that maybe wants to tell you something, or that you want to hear from, maybe you're going to see them here. I already had someone come through the moment I press record, so we'll see where that person comes up. So you saw me pre-shuffle these, so I'm going to be looking at these first with you, and I do have a tarot over here, but because it is a reading where I'm going to be kind of looking at spirits, I don't really need these, but I do use them as a guide. I may not use them a lot, so I don't have a lot of variety of decks here for the reading. I'm just trying to keep it simple and non-confusing. And also I have some charms that may help for this reading. I felt like using them, so that's what we are going to do. So without further ado, let's get into a pile. So for pile 1, you have Adventuring. For pile 2, you have Clear Quartz. And for pile 3, you have the Tiger's Eye. Hello for pile 1 with the Adventuring. This is your reading. So I was gonna say, let's get started. They get started before I do. So there's already someone that I'm seeing. And okay, so I can't see the female. I felt her. But there's a female with a child, and I think the child is about maybe 7-8 years old, and I'm kind of seeing him in this it's not black and white. It's like when photos were not quite color yet, they look kind of brown. I don't know if that's a black and white photo that's very old, but that's kind of what I'm seeing. I think the woman and the child are together. I'm not exactly sure. For some reason, the woman, I think she has kind of Edwardian type hairstyle. That's a specific hairstyle. It's the something girl, I forgot, Gypsum girls, that kind of hairstyle. That's what I'm seeing. So they already started. So I couldn't even say the thing that I try to say in the beginning of the pile, which is I'm not going to be able to describe every single spirit that comes through, but just because I can't describe someone that you know, it doesn't mean that the message isn't for you. So stick around for the message and see if it resonates with you. Okay, so let me see. This is going to be kind of the main message, and then I'm just gonna get some tarot to clarify if needed. Well, I'll get 3 cards at least, okay? So you have Jump In, Andromedan Energy, Adventure, Say Yes to Change. Adventure, Say Yes to Change. You saw me shuffle these. If you didn't, you can scroll back if you want. I shuffled these, and you got the card that says Adventure with the Adventuring. If that's not the clearest fucking message, I don't know what is. So their main message, Adventure, they want you to do something that maybe you wouldn't do normally, or just say yes to the adventure. Maybe you're someone who is very kind of anxious like me, or maybe not. Maybe you just have something coming up and you're unsure about whether you should do it or not. The answer is yes. They want you to take on whatever this is. That is the clearest fucking message I've gotten in so long. So they don't want you to be afraid of stepping forward. And something that I'm seeing very specifically that they're showing me, it's when I said stepping forward, what I saw was someone taking on like a position of power. So maybe this is for some of you, it's like a leadership position of some sort, or you are replacing someone who passed away in some way. And the specific manner in which this is being presented, I keep seeing the woman with the gypsum girl hair. First of all, she's beautiful. Second of all, the gypsum girl hair is very important to know who this is. Please allow me to go back to what I was saying. So the way it's being shown to me specifically, it's when I'm hearing patriarch. So maybe a father passed away, or a grandfather, or just a male figure passed away. And you are stepping up in their place. So whatever it is that they were doing, you are supposed to following their footsteps, or that's what you think that you should do. If that is your specific situation, they probably want you to say yes to that, but also that's not exactly an adventure, but I don't know why they want you to like step up to something. Well, it is an adventure, because if it's something that you have never done before, you are literally starting from scratch, maybe without a lot of instruction or direction or preparation. So it is an adventure. So maybe they want you to see whatever this is as something more positive. They don't want you to see it as something negative, because it's gonna predispose you to not it's just gonna make everything harder for you. So they kind of want you to go in with the mindset of, this is an adventure, this is something new that I can do, and if I don't know how to do something, I can learn. That's the mindset that they want you to go in. And the patriarch that I mentioned is obviously a man. I am seeing a man, but I'm not sure if they're showing me like if that's like a spirit, or if they're just showing me in terms of context. Because here's the thing, I don't think people talk about this enough, because you're on YouTube and you see like mediums or psychics be like, you're like, holy shit, they're perfect. I am so sorry. I just coughed so bad. I'm gonna cut that out. It was so loud. Being like differentiating sometimes whether what you're seeing, if for other people it works like it works for me, sometimes it's hard to differentiate whether it's like an actual spirit or if they're showing me something for context. It takes so much practice. Like, I don't think people talk about it. They're like, a lot of people just talk about it and they kind of make it seem like they know everything, or like they don't struggle. No, I can assure you it's a struggle. But yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. Like, if I don't know something, I'm gonna tell you that I don't know. So can you please give me maybe more context, or excuse me, if you can. Sorry, again, I keep coughing. I knew that I was gonna cough because I was gonna be speaking a lot, but damn it. Please give me more context regarding this, or just elaborate on the message. Maybe elaborate on who you are, who's here, because I can't see all of you spontaneously all the time. Let's see. Knight of Wands. What the fuck? I just keep coughing. So I picked this deck specifically because it has people in it, and it helps me kind of visualize who's around. They can help me connect with them more, because like when I'm doing this, I have no idea how many fucking spirits I'm trying to look at, and anything helps, you know. The Empress. And the Four of Wands. I definitely see that optimism here being portrayed again, with the Knight of Wands and then the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is kind of like a celebration. They really want you to look at how you are viewing the situation, so you can kind of start with like a more positive mindset. But this situation specifically, where they're telling you to jump in, to say yes to it, they're telling you to say yes because it is going to help you grow, but it is also going to be very fruitful for you. It's going to be, it's going to bring abundance. It's going to give you like a lot of opportunities that maybe you wouldn't get otherwise. So they want you to move forward with this, with like, they said ready to party. That's really funny. It's not really funny, but it's like the choice of words. I found it funny. So there's basically their message is mindset is everything. And it's just it's so positive. If you have to work with someone else in whatever this is, because again, this could be literally anything, but if you are working with somebody else, maybe as a coworker or even your partner or someone in your family, whatever, they kind of want you to take the diplomatic route. That's the exact wording that they just used, the diplomatic route. So maybe you have some tension with this person, or it's like they don't want you to argue. There's compromise that you can both reach where all parties are going to be satisfied, but you actually have to get to the point of talking about it. So if this other person that you maybe have to work with, like I said, maybe there's some tension, that tension has to be put behind whatever the reason of the tension was, or at least that's what they're advising. It may not be comfortable, like it may not be something that you want to do, but the way they're showing this to me, it's like it's not going to be maybe the type of approach that you want to use, but it's the one that's going to get you the best results. And sometimes you kind of have to compromise if you want a specific results. Yeah, that is the case here with what they're showing me. So there's a big emphasis on family in this reading. Clearly, I also said that this is like from like past family members, but a lot of what I'm saying and I'm talking about applies to family, like situations within your family, not maybe something in your job, because they keep like showing me siblings and kind of like a big dinner, like a big table. So this may be over, like they signaled Thanksgiving, but Thanksgiving already passed and the next Thanksgiving is like very far away. Anyway, this could have been something that popped up during Thanksgiving, past Thanksgiving, or will pop up during the next Thanksgiving. And sorry, I stopped because I saw another spirit and I'm going to talk about him in a second. But around these times of year where there's like a lot of people that come together, and usually these times are also like, if things are, if the energy is weird in the family, it can create like a lot of arguments and overall not a good time for most people. So yeah. And also some of you are trying to travel. If you're trying to travel, go ahead and do it. Again, jump in, say yes. Go on the adventure. Now, the spirit that I just saw is an older male, and he's using what is that? I don't know the actual name. You know the thing they put on people at the hospitals so they can breathe better, like on their nose. It's like the little that has like the two little tubes that go in their nose. That whatever it's called. He is balding, so he has white hair around the head, but like the top of his head is bald. And they are telling me that he well, they didn't tell me. It's like the feeling that I'm getting from him. It's that he passed away from dementia of some type, Alzheimer's. Maybe he was already old. I would assume 70s, maybe 80s. But he passed from this illness. I'm seeing him kind of like from the side. It's like he's sitting in like in a hospital room, but not in the bed, like on a chair. That's how I'm seeing him. If that is someone that you know, he is here to tell you something. That's it. The message is here. I already told you the message, but also specifically that he's okay in the sense that he's not lost anymore, because I assume that when he was alive he would get lost, because that happens to people who have these diseases. Unfortunately, it's very sad. But yeah, he wants you to know that he is okay, and you don't have to worry about him. So yeah, he just popped up for like a second, and I was like, okay, I need to address it, but I need to finish what I was saying first before I forget. So another thing they want you to look at here that I just noticed is that they want you to look at, like, to prioritize. So there may be many things that you want to do or that you have to do, but they want you to take a second and see which one of these things that you have in front of you do you that you actually need to do. Which ones do you actually need to do, and which of the other ones you can kind of push back or let go of entirely. Because I feel like they're showing me like a desk like full of papers, like to the top. So there's like a lot that has accumulated for you, and you don't have to deal with all of that. So just kind of take stock of what it is that you have to do. Determine if something you don't need to do, if something is not, if you don't need to carry that, don't fucking carry it, drop it, right? And then organize and prioritize most important to least important and go about that way, because they don't want you to be overwhelmed. They also just said somebody else came through and they tried to use like a fishing reference, and I'm gonna be completely honest, I didn't get what they were saying. But I think what they mentioned about fishing has to do with what I just said about prioritizing. I have no idea how fishing works, but maybe it's like, it has to do with the fish. I don't know exactly. If this is for you, you will get what I said immediately. If this is someone that you talked to when you were like a child, when this is like a parent, a grandfather, an uncle, or whatever, and you will get what I'm trying to say, but I don't know what they said. They just said like, remember the fishing, or like something like that. I'm like, what do you mean fishing? You see, sometimes they give me information that even I don't understand, but it makes sense for you. So yeah. Oh, they're showing me a wedding cake. Yeah, it is a wedding cake. Are you getting married? Maybe you're worried about saying yes. Maybe you're worried about the ceremony. I mean, they showed me a big ass cake. Who doesn't like cake? So maybe you're hesitating if you are getting married, or maybe you're not getting married, or maybe you're just attending a wedding. And you're like, I don't know if I should go. I don't want to go. I'm uncomfortable. Like, I'm not gonna fit in. Go ahead and do it. Maybe we'll meet someone over there as well. So yeah, they just want you to jump in, say yes to everything. Well, not everything, but if you see an opportunity for something, instead of like not taking it because you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't, or like, I don't know, I'm not sure, try saying yes. If it's not going to harm you in any way, say yes. Like, for example, if someone tells you, hey, do you want to come to the gym with me, like together, let's go work out together, say yes. Let's go to this restaurant, I heard is very good, go ahead and go, that kind of thing. Try to say yes to things that you really have no other reasonable excuse to not go to, right? Because I feel like that's gonna help open a lot of doors for you. It's gonna help you maybe connect with other people, just have new and exciting experiences in general. And they really want you to kind of enjoy life. They don't want you to they said take stock in your room. Me too, bestie. But yeah, they want you to kind of put yourself out there, so opportunities and people can see you, So yeah, that is all I have for you. I love them so much. Again, if I didn't mention someone that it doesn't mean that they weren't here. I just didn't actually see them. It's very difficult if I have like a lot going on and I'm trying to get a message at the same time. So take what resonates, leave what does not, okay? So that's all I have for you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Sunday at 12 p.m. EST. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do love my updates with the channel over there, and also in my community tab. If you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo and my Cash App in the description down below. I wish you the best of luck on your journey and much, much love to you. Bye-bye. Hello for pile 2 with the clear Aquarius reading. So I got so confused. I almost did my intro in your pile because I saw a spirit and I got so excited because this is the first time I see a spirit like this, and I'm going to tell you about it right now. But let me say something first. So clearly I'm going to be looking at several spirits. I don't know who's going to come through. Maybe I won't describe someone that you know specifically, or someone that you are looking forward to hear from, because there's just like a lot, and I can't describe every single spirit that is going to come through. But the message may be for you anyway, so stick around for the message and see if it resonates for you. Now let me just talk about the spirit that I just saw, because this is a first. I have never had a spirit like this. So I just saw a spirit, and it's a drag queen. I'm seeing it's a drag queen. I'm not feeling that this was a trans woman. It's giving me drag queen vibes. So I don't know if you had someone in your family who was a drag queen. It's like a heavier person. They kind of remind me of, was her name Divine? I think. The person that inspired Ursula in like The Little Mermaid. That drag queen specifically, very similar. Not the same person, but very similar in that sense, like the body shape and also like kind of like the makeup. This is the first time in my life that I've gotten a drag queen. This is insane to me, and I'm so happy. Like, everyone is welcome here, okay? But I just, that's incredible. Okay, so let me focus. So we're gonna look at this card first, and see what the main message is, and I'm going to get some cards, to clarify. I didn't use the charms in the other pile, so I don't know if I'm going to need them for yours. We'll see. So let's see. It says, surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. So sort of similar to pile 1, but for you specifically, there's a big emphasis on, like, in the words of one of my ancestors that I got a message from, his message for me once was, be alive. Like, that is so simple and it sounds so dumb, but what that message meant was to simply try to exist in the moment. Because, for example, I'm someone that I'm very anxious. I have an anxiety disorder, so I'm always like, my brain is always occupied, and there are a lot of worries on my mind 24/7, right? I've gotten better, but it's always been really bad. So you may be someone who is like me, and you can't live in the moment, and they want you to try to live in the moment, because it's not that you haven't tried, but they want you to keep trying, because there's a lot for you to enjoy. And the way this is being presented to me is that they're saying like that you... Let me see how I explain this. You will never get today back. Does that make sense? So you can only, like, not even getting into like time isn't real, or like time isn't linear or whatever, but from our perspective as human beings, we experience time in a linear way, and we can't really go back to a day in the past. So they kind of, the point that they're trying to make, it sounds kind of depressing, but it's not, that there are things that happen to you every day that you may not get to experience ever again. So they want you to try to put your worries and, put your worries down, clear your mind as much as possible so you can enjoy a little bit. And one of the ways that they're showing me this, you may not be able to do this in the moment, but that's okay. So they kind of want you to implement like gratitude into your practice. So they want you to maybe sit down at the end of the day and write a list of the things that you were grateful for in your day. So for example, maybe you went and saw a parade, so just write down, I'm grateful for being able to watch the parade. It was beautiful. Whatever, put whatever you want in there. I'm grateful because I had a good lunch and I really enjoyed it. I'm grateful because I was able to walk my dog and it was a beautiful day. So that kind of stuff that maybe you don't really think about twice during your day, or that while you're doing them you're not really paying attention or fully enjoying them. That gratitude practice is kind of gonna help you maybe focus a little bit more on them and actually acknowledge that they happened. Because speaking from experience, when you are kind of in this cloud of maybe not so nice thoughts or just worries and all of that, it really dampens your mood. And I feel like it can even make you depressed in a way, because you don't really get to enjoy anything because you're always in your head. So they kind of want you to try addressing this. It's like they don't want you to keep going like this. Like there's a lot for you to see, a lot for you to enjoy, and it's a waste. It's literally how they're showing it to me. It's like it's a waste of a beautiful day, or it's a waste of, that you couldn't fully enjoy this experience. And it's not your fault at all. Like, I don't want you to feel like guilty for this. It's very difficult to deal with this, and they understand, and I understand as well. So I don't want you to beat yourself up. Just maybe try a different approach, or try what I just said about the gratitude. Or maybe if you're really struggling, maybe you should probably seek like professional help, and that's okay. There's no shame in that. Oh, look, there's a card. I was gonna shuffle for the cards, but let's see, what is this? That's a Queen of Swords. Okay, let me get you two more. Okay. Oh, I was like, what's in my hand that is this? So is there anyone else that wants to come forward? Oh, there's a little girl. So here's the thing. When I see child spirits, it could be that they passed away as children, but it could also be like some spirits just choose to present themselves in a specific way. And I think that's the case for this little girl, because this little girl looks like 2 or 3 years old. She has bangs, and her hair is straight, like on the bangs, but the bottom of her hair, that is like jaw length, is very curly. And I think her hair is either blonde or it's like red, like she had red hair, like a redhead, so she's very small. So that's why I'm saying, like, I don't know if this is like an actual child spirit, or if it's like someone who is presenting themselves in their child spirit form for some reason, maybe because it's going to help you identify them better, or maybe there's like a picture of them around that age. Yeah. Okay. Let me get you two more. That is the Knight of Swords. And the Ace of Cups. Okay. That is a very clear message to me. So I want you to look out. I picked this deck for this reading because they have paintings of like people, and that sometimes helps me like focus on who's giving you a message, or anything of that sort. But if you look at these cards, these two that are from the Suit of Swords, everything is very gray, very black, and I feel like that fits with the darker mood that I was talking about. They may feel like it's a huge contrast to this card and this one. So I don't interpret the Suit of Swords as negative. Many people do. That's like the traditional interpretation as far as I'm aware. But for in this particular reading, it feels like this woman is in mourning. So I don't know if you maybe lost someone recently, like someone that is giving you a message recently passed away. But this could also be grieving. I relate to this so much. So you may be going like right now, maybe that's why this message came through right now, because you may be thinking literally that you have missed out on so much because of what you have been struggling with. And this is something that you actually grieve. This is actually grief, okay? So you are grieving things that you couldn't do. You're grieving versions of yourself that you couldn't be. And they are acknowledging that, and they want you to acknowledge it as well. They don't want you to push it away just because society tells you to, or because like you have been grieving for too long. No such thing, okay? So they want you to validate those feelings and simply let them pass. If it helps writing them down, write them down. If it helps talking to someone, talk to someone. But what I don't want you to do is to stay in this energy any longer, because there's so much for you to see. Like, we have the Ace of Cups right here, and this is such a beautiful card in my opinion. literally a whole new world. I'm hearing the song from Aladdin, a whole new world. It's kind of like this one, like she's looking out into this like beautiful landscape, and kind of enjoying herself, minding her business, right? So it's like there's a lot that you can see, a lot that you can experience, a whole new beginning for you, but you actually have to do something about this. And again, this is not to blame you, but you do have control over the situation, even if you feel like you don't. If you can't control your thoughts, you can find ways to cope with them. You can talk to a therapist and maybe they will give you some tools. If not, go to a webinar. Maybe they have like, there are things you can do, steps you can take to make the situation better for yourself. And I promise you that some of them will work. If one doesn't work, the other one will. Never give up on finding a way to get better. Ever. Because you deserve a better life. Like, that's just a fact. I don't care. Like, I don't care if anyone told you otherwise. You deserve a good life. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be comfortable and to not feel like shit every second of your existence. Okay? So there's better for you out there. There's a new beginning. But again, with this Knight of Swords, there's a need to up and go. Okay? So they're saying like there's something specific that I want you to do. If you're someone who is spiritual, if you have taken spiritual baths, maybe it's time for one. If you don't know what a spiritual bath is, you can do like a quick search. I'm going to give you like some information. Like it's just basically what it sounds like. It's taking a bath. You can use some salt. I don't like bath salts. Okay. Sorry, I heard something. I was like, what the fuck was that? You can use bath salts that are like skin safe. Please don't put anything in your bath that you don't know what it is, or you don't know if it's skin safe. Please look for something that's skin safe. So bath salt is protective. Salt is cleansing as well, is my opinion. It soaks up all the bad energy. You can use certain herbs. You don't have to soak in the bath if you don't want to. Like if you're worried about infections or any of that, you can just put it in a bucket with some water and just grab like a little jar or whatever and just throw it over yourself and then rinse it off. That is going to work as well. So some of the herbs that I think you can use, again, research and make sure these are body safe because I am not sure. You can use rosemary. Something that is very popular where I come from, I'm Cuban, is using white rose petals in your spiritual baths for that cleansing. You can put some perfume in there. Again, body safe, but that's what I've done. I'm not sure even if it's safe. I've just done it myself. Or you can buy, like, there are sellers on Etsy who are spiritual and they sell like spiritual bath salts, so you can do one of those. So the reason they're showing me this is I think that the bath is to help you kind of clear that energy. And even if you're not spiritual, maybe you are because you're here, but you know what I mean? If you're not really into like the witchy shit, simply taking it as a day for yourself to pamper yourself, and you do like a little bath salt, maybe some rose petals, some me time, right? A little spa day inside your house, right? Then that's something that you can do, and it can help you feel a little bit better. So they want you to really focus on finding your happiness or doing things that you just enjoy doing very much. I'm seeing crochet. Is that how you say that word? Crocheting? I don't know what the actual word is, but I'm seeing someone do like crochet. I'm actually seeing like something very specific that they're crocheting. So maybe this is like a spirit that they're showing me. They used to do this. Is like a red, like bright red crochet piece that they're using. Why does it look like a sleeping bag? I actually don't know what it is. I don't even know if you can crochet a sleeping bag. Obviously not a functional one, but maybe this is someone who made you like a crocheted sleeping bag for like when you were a kid and it was like you were camping inside your house. You know, do you know what I mean? Maybe that's oddly specific, but yes. But maybe that's something that maybe you would enjoy, or, you know, maybe learn divination, or because they're showing me divination, or they're showing me someone going out on bike rides. Maybe you enjoy going on a bike ride. It's good exercise. You see, you know, you go outside, you get some good vitamins from the sun. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the kind of thing that you're showing me. But they want you to do things that you enjoy, so it makes your life a little bit better. And again, try to be in the moment. So when you notice your mind wandering off, because it will wander off, and that's okay, to kind of guide it back and be like, okay, what am I seeing right now? Oh, look, that is an apple tree. It looks beautiful. I wonder what the apples taste like. You know, just that's like a grounding technique. You look at 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can touch, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can touch. That's like a basic grounding technique that you can use, and it's super helpful, I promise. That's something you can do to kind of bring yourself back to the moment when your mind is just running off. So yeah, why are they showing me infants? That's a baby. Why am I seeing a baby? Whose baby is that? It's a baby. I have never in my life seen a ghost baby. So I don't know. I don't think it's a ghost baby. They're showing me a baby. Maybe you have a baby. And maybe that's one of the reasons that you are feeling low, because having an infant is difficult. It takes a toll on you. And also, please, if you think you're suffering from postpartum depression, please, I am begging you, go see a doctor so they can treat you and help you if you are able. If you're not able, I'm not sure how you can get help. I am honestly not sure, but maybe try to look around, see what local resources you have, because if you do have that, you need treatment and, you know, to feel better, and you can take care of your little baby for better, you know. They show me, like, I never know what they're gonna show me, never. So is there anyone else? There's a blonde woman. She has like I literally immediately. I have no idea what time period that's from. So she has like blonde, curled up hair, but it's like not real curls. Like it's curled with something. Maybe she had like slightly curly hair, but she made it more like intense. And the thing that I'm saying that is so specific is that her outfit, I am going to assume this is like 1910s, I assume, has a pink bow on the back. Like, you know, I don't know what the actual name of the thing is. You know, women wore the skirts, so, and they went like this, whoop. You know, it's like something that they wore under a girdle. Maybe that's the word. And that thing, like the back of the, you know, the butt, there's a pink bow that I think is tied to her waist from the front, but the back is a pink bow. And I think the dress is white, but a pink bow. Like, I feel like this is very distinctive. Like, maybe there's a picture of that. And there's someone dressed as a sailor as well, like from the time, like, when they wear like little sailor hats. Like, if you think sailor costume, like for Halloween, like for babies, that type of dress, that I don't know what time period that's from either. But I can kind of recognize that's from like a specific time period, but I don't know which one. So there's oh my gosh, it's beautiful. She reminds me of Angela Bassett in Black Panther. She has the most gorgeous round gold earrings. She is black skinned. She has black skin. She's black. I'm trying to see. I can't tell if she's like bald or not. She reminds me so much of Angela Bassett. Maybe that's what they're showing me maybe they're showing me her. But there's like a comparison there. But she has gorgeous earrings, and I'm just kind of seeing her profile a little bit. She feels so calm. Like, I'm not even, like, I was trying to say, like, oh, you want to say something? And I'm like, I'm gonna fall asleep. Like, it's like a very calming presence. She's a very calming presence. So whoever that is, if that's someone that you know, it's like this very motherly energy. So when she's around, you may feel like a lot of peace, a lot of, maybe you feel like going to sleep. Like if you struggle falling asleep, and you suddenly feel like this wave of calm wash over you and then you fall asleep, it's because she's around. Like, I'm not even joking, I'm 100% serious. That's the vibe that she gave me. So anything else, anyone else? Well, that man looks slightly like a vampire. So I have no idea if there's like a specific time period he's from, but he has long-ish, like shoulder length, yeah. Straight black hair. And the reason I said, oh, he looks like a vampire is because he's like pale, and he has that black hair. So I was like, oh my god, he looks like a vampire. And he has like apologies. He has like a little goatee situation going on. It's like a little triangle under his bottom lip. Hell, maybe he had like a gothic, maybe he was a goth of some kind. I know some goths are like inspired by vampires, so maybe this person was one of those. Reminds me of the guy from What We Do in the Shadows from season 1. I think it's Vlad, like Vlad the Impaler, and that show specifically looks like him. So yeah, he just popped on. I was like, why the hell, like what? So yeah, I think he has like a very good sense of humor. He's very playful, I think. He gives me uncle energy, so yeah. So I think that's it. Yeah, they just want you to kind of work with that, and it's like fighting for your happiness, for your own happiness. Not that you haven't been doing that, but it's like they just want to keep going because it's like you're close to something new. You're close to in the beginning. So they want you to kind of focus on that and work on it, okay? So that's all I have for you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Sunday at 12 p.m. EST. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do love my episodes of the channel over there, and also in my community tab. If you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo and my Cash App in the description down below. I wish the best of luck on your journey and much, much love to you. Bye-bye. Hello, PayPal 3 with the tire side is your reading. So I didn't use the charms for any of the other 2 readings, but I feel like using it for yours literally right now. And also mention, like, there's someone who's from Colombia here. You're Colombian. I don't know if you are, but like the person that was around, Colombian. So let me get you a charm. I don't know why they want the charm up front, but that's what we're gonna do. This might be slightly loud, so I'm just warning you. Oh, that's the elephant. And the little feather. Yeah. So the thing with the feather is that for me it represents quickness and fast movement. Also, like, just random messages, clearly, like messages from spirit. But this came from a necklace that had like a Native American motif. So that was given to me like a long time ago, and I got rid of the necklace, but I kept the little charm. So there may be someone here who is a native, not necessarily Native American, just an indigenous person, because that's something that I definitely feel with this. And something that I'm gonna say, it's gonna sound weird, this is not the first time that I encounter an indigenous spirit. Most of the time they kind of, in my experience, they tend to like stay more so on the sidelines, and I can understand why, especially because of my ancestry. Like, I'm mostly Spanish, so everyone knows what the fuck the Spanish did, so I would understand if they're uncomfortable with me. But I can feel this person, but they're not showing up, so I can't see them. But the reason that I say that they kind of stay like out of, like, in the sidelines, is that when they come forward, they're not fucking around. So it's like a very important message when they like decide to be like, okay, and to speak right now. So this little elephant charm, I see it as representing family. Clearly, if we're talking about, you know, the topic of the reading, it's going to be family. this may be like a family motive, like a little family symbol of some sort. Maybe there's like a lot of elephant decor in your house, or in this person's house that I'm talking about, or maybe it was their favorite animal is your favorite animal. But the elephant also signifies a lot of knowledge, a lot of intelligence, but also for me, in my opinion, it's like, for me, this charm talks about patience as well. And like a lot of connection, because the way that I think about it is that elephants are one of the like few like mammals that have like a very long like humans, like human infants, they take a long time to develop and reach adulthood, and they really take care of their young. So it's, for me, there's a lot of like that connection, that close-knit family dynamic. So I am pointing it out because this may be related to something that is passed down from your family. This will make sense if you're indigenous, because at least in the United States, indigenous people have unfortunately from the beginning been kind of pushed and just put in reservations, and just everyone knows it's been horrible. So I feel like that has really made them pass on a lot of things within their family as part of their culture, their belief system, and they have like a overall very strong sense of community, at least from what I can tell. So I feel like that's why it makes sense like here. So let's see what the actual message is. Your life is a canvas, artist, manifestation, creative accountability. Okay, so that is supposed to be your main message, but I want to clarify what exactly you're talking about, because it could be talking about so many things here. But I feel like the main message of that card, it's obviously what it says, but also like you may be at a point in your life where you feel stuck, you feel stagnant, and you may feel helpless. Like you may not feel like you are able to change your situation no matter what you do. And what they're saying is that you do have a certain level of control. That came up in pile too. But for you, there's like a central kind of focus right now. There's like that central problem here. You feel limited in some way, because the way they're showing this to me is someone stuck between two rocks, like between a rock and a hard place. Excuse me, I'm gonna cough. I've, like I said in the beginning, I've been sick. I just keep fucking coughing because I'm speaking a lot, so it just really fucks up my throat. So they're showing me someone like between two rocks, and so you feel like your movements are limited by your environment. I don't feel like you didn't feel inadequate before, but due to the restrictions that have been placed on you, you feel like you having any sort of power or ability to change your situations is basically non-existent. Like you don't feel like you have that, because it's kind of been imposed on you due to what's your environment, your circumstances. So so technically what they're saying is that you are a victim of your circumstances, but you don't have to continue being one, because it's kind of an illusion, right? So it's the illusion that you really have no choice, or that you have no escape, or that you can only do so much. It is an illusion. It doesn't mean that it won't be hard to get out of the place where you're at, but it's not impossible. And they actually showed me Plato's allegory of the cave. Now that was used kind of as a way to explain why the senses weren't reliable, but I feel like it can also talk about, and I think it relates to what I just said, because I feel like it can talk about being stuck in one place and knowing one way of life only, but eventually breaking out of the chains and going outside, right? So They want you to break those chains. They don't want you to stay where you are, because I don't feel like it's conductive to who you are as a person. You can create a lot, you can manifest. There's a lot for you to do. And being in a place that makes you feel restricted is not conductive to that version of yourself. Okay, so let me get you something else. I just saw someone, they actually showed me Frida Kahlo, but this could be like someone who is Mexican, and so that's what they're showing me. The imagery of her, I'm seeing, oh, this is artist as well, so maybe this is something that has to do with painting as well, because she was a painter, or just something artistic that you want to do that maybe you feel you have been told like you can't do. But they showed me Frida Kahlo, and she's wearing, and I think this is very significant because it's being highlighted to me, she is wearing a flower crown. So look into the symbolism of like flower crowns. I know they have to do with spring. We're in spring, but yeah, it's interesting because it just highlighted that to me very hard. So let's see. The Empress. You got the Empress too. Pile 1 got the Empress. Let's see. Ooh. The Hermit. And the Three of Cups. So the Devil is down here. It didn't come out, but I think man, okay, it's down here. It didn't come out, but I think it's significant because we were just talking about Plato's allegory of the cave, and the devil is literally, in the traditional tarot, it's two, like a man and a woman tied up by chains, but the chains are loose, but they feel like they're stuck. Like that's, oh, and he has, oh, okay, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if I can bring it closer because YouTube, but the man here who is a centaur, he has a flower crown. Well, it's not a crown, but he has a flower on his head, or two. I can't see very well because it's dark. No, it is a crown of like leaves, and it has like red flowers. Holy shit. Okay. I was like, what? Yeah. So that's significant, but I'm not going to bring it out because it didn't come out, but I just wanted to note it. Okay. So the first thing that, especially in this deck, that I picked this deck specifically because it has people, and sometimes when I'm trying to talk to spirits, like having like a visual helps. Sometimes they will make a card come out and it looks like them. So, bruh, just keep coughing. I'm gonna have to cut out so many parts like of this so I don't cough in your ear. So we have this Empress card specifically. To me, even though the Empress represents abundance, fertility, obviously she's pregnant, she has children, so it's this creative energy, so it's very connected. But this representation of the Empress specifically, it always makes me think of, because of the way she's holding the children, these 3 children, these 2 are down here, it makes me think of how parents in general, well, mothers specifically, because usually mothers are the ones that do a child rearing in society, rearing in society in general, that it's like having to choose how you're going to parent your child. And children have different temperaments from birth. Basically, it's believed that that's like a precursor to personality. So some children, they're different. Children are different. One of them may be very fussy, but then the other one sleeps through the night. You never know what you're going to get with the baby, right? So the thing is that parents may try to apply... What the fuck? Anyway, they may try to apply the same parenting technique to different children, not realizing that it's not going to work well for all of them because they are different and they have different needs. Okay, so the reason that I'm mentioning this is that they want you to, maybe you have been trying to get out of this place where the 2 rocks are, right? But you keep trying the same like approach, or you feel like there's only one approach, and that is not the case. So they want you to kind of assess the situation and brainstorm for a way to get out of whatever situation you're in. Like I said, it may also take some trial and error, because I'm going back to the example of the children. You don't really know what's going to work sometimes. What would a child consider a punishment? Like, some of them will consider a punishment taking the phone away, but another one may not give a fuck. You know what I mean? So it may take trial and error for you to figure out what the best approach is, but you can figure it out. Okay, so they just want you to use that creative ability that you have to think creatively of a solution, because there is a way out. Just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it's not there. Maybe you haven't thought of it because it's unconventional or difficult, or it's just plain weird, but there's a way out for you. So look into that. Also, we have the hermit and the Three of Cups. What the hell happened to me? Okay, so with what I just said about brainstorming, this hermit specifically, it gives me the sensation of someone working with their spirit team, their ancestors or whatever, to come up with a solution to receive information. So kind of getting downloads. So maybe one of the ways that it's going to help you, maybe you should meditate or do whatever you want to get you in like a trance-like state, or whatever you like to do to connect with spirits. Because I know there are different ways. Everyone is different, right? Do that and try to ask them for advice, but try to like, don't go up after 5 minutes. Just try to stay there. And if it doesn't work the first time, try a second time. Because I feel like you are receiving messages from, just call it above, right? They may be difficult to decipher, but it doesn't mean that you should give up. Just keep trying to understand it. Tell them, can you tell me this in a different way, in a different approach? Maybe you can ask them to be like, hey, if your message is this, make me see this sign. You can pick a sign, and that's going to be your confirmation. Okay, so they want you to work with them because you are very gifted. This artist thing is not only about arts, like actual arts. I feel like you may have gifts, like spiritual gifts. So they want you to learn how to use them and use them for your benefit, because sure, you can help other people. Maybe you would like to do maybe a YouTube channel like I do, and you get to help other people, give them messages, but use them for yourself as well. So for you specifically is to help you out of the situation, to use your gifts for that. And here with the Three of Cups, the Three of Cups is a celebration. So to me, this tells me that there is a way out, and you're going to be so fucking happy when you make it out of whatever situation this is where you feel stuck. So there's like a light at the end of the tunnel, okay? Not like that, you know what I mean? There's the storm will pass, you know? The rain will pass and there will be a rainbow. So it's kind of like there is a way out and there is better. So they don't want you to stay there. So try to, if you know that there is better, to keep fighting for it, because like I said, there is most definitely a way out for you. So I'm getting like a lot of Hispanic people, but again, I am seeing someone who I can like someone who looks very indigenous to me. I know indigenous people look different, but it's like people from Mexico who have more indigenous or a closer indigenous relative, they have their own like ways that they look, and that is normal. So when they have like this closer relatives, you're simply going to look a little bit different. And I notice a lot, like in especially from Latin America, people who have a lot of indigenous ancestry, they look a very specific way. And this woman that I'm seeing, she looks indigenous to me, but I can tell she's Mexican. Again, going back to the Frida Kahlo that I just saw. I don't think I literally saw Frida Kahlo, but it's like they showed her to me. So she has long, very long, straight hair, and she is wearing, it looks like it's a dress. It looks like a traditional Mexican dress, but it's like white. And she's doing something. I think she's wearing like the thing you wear so you don't get dirty when you're cooking. I forgot the word in English, delantal en español. So she's kind of cleaning it. It gives me the sensation that she picked fruits or maybe even coffee on a field, and what she used to do was she was not carrying a basket. She would kind of carry it on the thing that I mentioned. I completely forgot the word right now. So she would use that as a makeshift, basket. She would carry it on like that. And she is on the older side. I don't think she is. She has to be at least 50 years old. She's not at 60 yet. But I can tell she's she's a little bit older. I can see she has wrinkles, especially in her forehead. She has like very strong features. So like her nose is very pronounced, and so are her brow bones. And her face is very kind of pointed and thin. So she's a thin woman. She is, like I said, someone that I would definitely say, oh, she works. Like she works. Like she spends a lot of time outside working. And she has darker skin. But it's almost like I'm seeing her in like a black and white photo. So her dress may not be white. It may just be like a lighter color. But I can see that her skin is dark. I can't exactly tell her complexion from the way that I'm seeing her. But I would say at least a olive, slightly darker skin tone. And it's like she's outside in the sun a lot. So her skin tone is darker than it would be if she didn't get so much sun. So a lot of the wrinkles that I'm seeing are sun exposure wrinkles. When people are outside a lot, and I know this because I'm Cuban as well, people age faster, and you get like your skin, like I'm white as fuck. Like you can see how white I am. But when I came here to the States at first, because I would walk everywhere, like we don't have fucking cars. Like I mean, some people have cars, but not most people do not have cars. So you walk everywhere. My skin was like at least 2 or 3 tones darker. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. And I'm getting so much information like about her just looking at her. So, and I'm seeing her. What is that? Is she making wine? What is that? So she's using, it may not be wine, but she's using like a big stick, like big, like heavy stick, okay? And she's kind of mashing something on, that's a weird motion to do on camera. So she's using it, she's standing, and she's using that to mash something inside a bucket. So that's why I said, oh, is it wine? Because, they mash the grapes. I don't know if it's grapes, but they may use that for something else. Again, there's this strong emphasis on, for you specifically, seeing what your ancestors did, their practices, things they did for their culture. Maybe try to reconnect with them. And I feel like they have been trying to help you, but there's some distance between you and your ancestors, maybe because you don't live where you used to live, especially because I'm seeing like a lot of Latin American. Maybe you are an immigrant, so you have kind of become disconnected from your original culture, your culture of origin. It happens to the best of us. And even though we're trying to reach you, because there's this disconnect with your culture, and you are so preoccupied with other things, they can't really connect with you. And one of the ways that you can connect with them is through doing things that they used to do. So whatever she was doing, maybe I think it was for cooking. So maybe that's a technique they used to cook something specifically. I don't know what it is that they were trying to cook, but maybe go out and eat that food and put it, maybe buy it, take it home, put it in like a little altar and just any space and be like, here for you. Or do the type of divination that they used to do, or go to a sacred place, a place that was sacred for your ancestors in some way. For some people, if they're Christian, that may be church. For other people, it may be a specific place in nature. Maybe there are specific shrines or anything that was important for your ancestors, to try to connect with that in order to connect with them. And that way it's going to be easier for you to receive their messages, and because they're trying to help you. Okay. That woman gave me so much information. Also, I think she's beautiful. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, that's definitely Mexican, because I just heard Aztec. So I don't think she like this much closer. I don't know how long. I don't think the Aztecs last that long because of fucking Spaniards, but maybe that's like the ancestors, like that's the ancestral line that is being shown to me, because so much Latin American, that's amazing, because I love that. Anyone else that wants to come forward? There's a woman, like, she reminds me of Princess Merida from Brave, and because of her hair, she has like very big curly red hair. So if they're showing Merida, maybe she is from the same place. But again, she's not really saying anything. She's just kind of stepping forward and be like, hey, I'm here. I'm seeing her braid her hair. Oh my god. So okay, that's something interesting. So I've seen several people, this is on TikTok, so again, do your research. And this is like your family, you will know. But I saw them talking about, like several people, how it was like in their family, like in their culture, their belief system, to braid their hair with a specific intention. So like do a big braid, like a tight braid for protection, or a loose braid for something else, or several small braids for something else. So something like hair magic. So because I quite literally see her braiding her hair on one side. So anyone else, anything else at all? So someone here may have, like, maybe you're Cuban like me, or you are Dominican or Haitian, because the reason I'm saying these places specifically is because the Yoruba religion, the Orishas, they are mostly venerated in this area of the Caribbean outside of Africa, right? So because I'm seeing kind of like Elewa, that's like, he's like I'm gonna say deity because that's the closest word that I can come up with in English. And he opens up roads, literally. So this is, I feel like, symbolic in the sense that they're talking about opening up the road for you to become unstuck. Apologies, I coughed again. Showing you the way out. Okay, getting you out of the stagnant energy, but also maybe you are from one of these cultures that venerates the Orishas, and he maybe is one that could help you in this. If that is part of your belief system, of your religion, go ahead and do it. If not, like if you're part of this, if you have this heritage, and your family does, maybe you don't, go talk to someone who worked with them. There are babalaos, there are a lot of people that can help you with these entities specifically, because there's a very specific way to work with them, and I wouldn't want you to like make a mess or something, or disrespect them, because that's very important when you're looking into your cultures, especially of your ancestors that you have lost touch with. It's very important to do your research and be respectful, because they all deserve respect, and also the deities that they worked with. So they're showing me that specifically, but I definitely feel like they're working to get you out of this and to just tell you what to do next. Because if you need a little help, they'll give you a little help. Okay? I keep coughing. I've been talking for like an hour, so that's why. So is there anything else at all before I close this? They're showing me a yellow bird that is so specific. This is sarcasm. It's like the Tweety bird from Looney Tunes. I don't know why they're showing me that. That's weird. Anyway, okay. I have no idea what that was. So that is all I have for you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to, because I do put out new videos every Sunday at 12 p.m. EST. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you want. I do love my updates of the channel over there, and also in my community tab. If you want to buy me a coffee, I have my Venmo and my Cash App in the description down below. I wish the best of luck in your journey, and much love to you. Bye bye. I got so stuck. Oh my god.